Welcome to today's explainer. Finding a new place to live in a brand new city or even a completely different country should honestly be one of the most exciting adventures of your life. Whether you're an international student flying across the world or a professional relocating for that absolute dream job, you're kicking off a brand new chapter. But here's the reality. Navigating a hyper-competitive rental market from literally thousands of miles away takes way more than just optimism. You need a rock-solid defense toolkit because unfortunately, scammers are out there waiting at the finish line, and just one wrong click can cost you thousands. Okay, let's dive into this and equip you with exactly what you need to rent safely. Here's a quick look at our survival guide map for today. We're going to cover 1. The global renting trap, 2. Cross-border scam tactics, 3. Spotting the red flags, 4. Your remote verification toolkit, and finally, 5. The rental safety net. Section 1. The global renting trap. High stakes from afar. Searching for a room sight unseen puts you in a pretty uniquely vulnerable position. Just look at this massive number, 2.26 million. That is the number of international students currently studying across the US, Canada, and the UK alone. It's an absolutely huge target market. And while that kind of massive growth inevitably brings in fantastic, totally legitimate housing providers, it also acts like a giant magnet for exploitative scammers. These bad actors, they know you're unfamiliar with the city, they know you might be dealing with a language barrier, and they definitely know you're under a super tight relocation timeline. Has anyone ever gotten a message kind of like this? Send the deposit today or I will give it to someone else. It instantly makes your heart race, right? Well, that is exactly what the fraudster wants. They exploit your geographic distance and that information gap to create pure anxiety. They want you panicked. They want you thinking you're going to be homeless in a foreign country. So you just pull out your credit card and pay before you've even had a chance to do your homework. Section 2. Cross-border scam tactics. The fraudster's playbook. Let's break down the specific traps that target remote renters, just so you can spot the enemy's favorite tactics before they even make a move. First up is advance fee fraud. Now, what's really interesting about this tactic is how scammers actually weaponize your own location against you. They normalize remote upfront payments. They try to convince you that, hey, because you're an international student or from out of town, paying a quote-unquote holding fee before you've even seen the room is just standard practice. Spoiler alert, it's not. It is actually the most common way they steal your money. Next up is the phantom landlord. And honestly, this one is incredibly tough to catch. This scammer poses as the property owner, but they have absolutely zero connection to the place. Sometimes they'll track down a vacant room, or they'll even rent a short-term Airbnb, and then they'll actually arrange a viewing for you, or maybe a local friend. So you see a real physical room and you instantly drop your guard. But you're paying someone who has zero legal authority to rent it out. And when move-in day finally rolls around, they are a total ghost. And the fraudster's playbook doesn't stop there. It's pretty thick. They might use really polished, stolen photos for fake listings. Or maybe they pull a bait and switch when you finally arrive, suddenly claiming that beautiful room is unavailable, but hey, this dingy, expensive one is. They even target new providers with overpayment scams, or they use totally fake applications for identity theft just to harvest your social security number, your passport scans, and your bank details. And then, of course, there's wire transfer pressure, which we'll dig into in just a second. Section 3. Spotting the red flags. Your early warning system. Okay, the genuinely good news about scammers is that they are highly predictable. They leave massive, glaring clues if you just know what to look for. Let's compare real urgency to fake urgency. A legitimate landlord might say something like, I've got 3 viewings today, and I'll be making a decision by Friday, right? That's calm, it's professional, it's clear. Fake urgency, on the other hand, is a panicked threat. Transfer the money in the next hour or the room goes to someone else. Fake urgency is designed specifically to short-circuit your critical thinking so you act completely blindly. So, the crucial point is the payment method. Legitimate providers accept traceable payments. We're talking standard bank transfers, checks, or secure on-platform payments. If a landlord demands an untraceable payment method, like a Western Union wire transfer, cryptocurrency, or, believe it or not, gift cards, that is a massive flashing red flag. Once that money is sent through those methods, it is nearly impossible to get back. I highly recommend keeping this red flags checklist handy. If a listing triggers 2 or more of these, you've got to walk away. For example, finding a room in London is a literal race. So if a London flat looks like an absolute steal, like 30% below market rate, and the landlord casually tells you they can't do a live video chat, that is not a lucky break, my friends. That's a scam.
Likewise, if they try to move your chat to WhatsApp immediately just to avoid platform detection, or they ask for your SSN before you've even verified they're real, just shut it down.
Section 4. Remote Verification Toolkit. Investigating from afar. All right, this is where you take back control. Here is your step-by-step toolkit to definitively verify a room even if you are thousands of miles away. Step 1. Reverse image search those listing photos using tools like Google Images or Tenant. If those pictures pop up on stock image sites or old real estate listings, it's a fraud. Step 2. Verify the provider's identity on public records or LinkedIn. Step 3, and this is the absolute most powerful tool you have, request a live video tour. A pre-recorded video can easily be stolen, but on a live FaceTime or Zoom call, you can ask the provider to do specific things in real time. Say, hey, can you look out the window for me? Or could you open that specific closet door? A scammer using stolen photos simply cannot fake that. Finally, step 4. Cross-reference the address on Google Maps and local tax databases to make absolutely sure the building actually exists and matches what they're telling you. Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 5, the rental safety net, verified platforms and recourse. You don't have to navigate the wild west of internet classifieds all by yourself. The sources strongly recommend using trustworthy platforms that actually do the heavy lifting for you. Platforms like Renter or Roomero in the UK, for example, actively filter out fraudsters before you ever even see them. They use two-sided identity verification, which means both the tenant and the provider are thoroughly confirmed. They require real, original photos, they enforce on-platform messaging so you always have a documented trail of your agreement, and they auto-expire stay listings so scammers can't hijack old ads. Plus, they ensure transparent, FTC-compliant pricing, meaning absolutely no hidden fees. These features directly, practically neutralize the scammer's favorite advantages. Now, you might want to grab a quick screenshot of this information. If you do find yourself targeted, knowing exactly who to contact is absolutely vital. In the US, you report to the FTC and the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. In the UK, it goes straight to Action Fraud, and in Canada, the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. If you are an international renter, you should actually report the scam in both the country where the property is listed and your home country. Doing that triggers international law enforcement cooperation. And hey, just in case the worst happens, here is your rapid-fire immediate action plan. Step 1, stop all communication immediately. Don't confront them, just stop. Step 2, document absolutely everything. Take screenshots of the listing, the profile, and the chat history before the scammer has a chance to delete them. Step 3, contact your bank instantly to request a chargeback or freeze that wire transfer. Step 4, report the user to the platform so they can be banned. Swift, documented action is your absolute best possible chance to recover any lost funds. And this brilliantly illustrates the single most important question you must ask yourself every single time you look at a listing online. Who are you really renting from? By refusing to pay untraceable upfront fees, by demanding live video proof, and by using verified platforms, you completely remove the scammer's power. You've got the tools now. Demand proof before you sign your next remote lease. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy, safe renting out there.